Good morning, my dear children. Hope you are all safe at home. Good. In this class, we are going to discuss and topic various carriers for different diseases. What we are going to discuss? Various carriers for different diseases. In previous class, we have discussed what is communicable disease. Do you remember that? What is communicable disease? The disease that spread to infected person to an healthy person, that we call it as a communicable disease. Likewise, some carriers, for example, insect and animals which act as a carrier. This insects and animal will spread disease from one to another, that we call it as a carriers. For example, we are taking housefly. Housefly is one such carrier. Okay. Now consider this is a garbage. Okay. This housefly comes and sits on this garbage or dustbin and picks some germs or bacteria from this garbage. Again, this housefly flies and comes and sits on this food. Okay. If a person is consuming the food, what happened to that person? Yes, the person will affected from many diseases. Okay, so it is advisable that always keep food covered. What we should do? We should cover the food. We should not uncover the food and avoid consuming uncovered food. We should not consume the uncovered food. Only we should consume the covered food. Okay, from today onwards, what you will all do? Yes, if in your kitchen there is the food is uncovered, means what you will do? You will take a plate and you should cover the food. Do you all do, students? Good, very good. Next, another example of carrier is female anopheles. Another example of carrier is what? Female anopheles. Spell the word female anopheles. F-E-M-A-L-E. Female anopheles. A-N-O-P-H-E-L-E-S. Anopheles. Another example of carrier is female anopheles. Female anopheles mosquito which carries the parasite of malaria. Female anopheles mosquito what? Which carries the parasite of malaria. Okay, this is another example. Next, another example is female Aedes. Female Aedes. Spell the word female Aedes. F-E-M-A-L-E. Female Aedes. A-E-D-S. Aedes. Female Aedes mosquito act as a carrier of dengue virus. Okay. Female Aedes mosquito act as the carrier of dengue virus. Do you understand, students? The examples of carrier. Next, see here, all mosquito breed in water. Okay, all mosquitoes breed in water. Hence, one should not let water collect anywhere in coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. Okay, we should not collect water in where? Coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. Okay. If we collect water in this coolers, tires, flower pot, what happens? Yes, the mosquito will come and sits on the water and breathe in that water, and again that mosquito come and sit on us. What happens? He causes several diseases like malaria. Okay, so we should not let water in coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. Do you understand, students? Okay. By keeping the surrounding clean, and also we should keep the surrounding clean and dry. We should keep the surrounding clean and dry so that we can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. Okay. How we can prevent mosquitoes from breeding? Yes, we can. We should keep the surroundings clean and dry. Do you understand, students? See here, some common human diseases caused by microorganism or organism. What are all the diseases that caused by microorganism? For example, see this is a human disease, microorganism, mode of transmission and preventive measures. In this way they are divided. Okay. First, the human disease is tuberculosis. Repeat after me. Tuberculosis. By which microorganism the tuberculosis is caused? By bacteria. The microorganism name is bacteria. How it spread? It spread through air. Okay. Next, the second human disease is measles. Repeat after me. Measles. By which microorganism? By virus microorganism this disease caused. How it spread? Through air. Next, chickenpox. Chickenpox is a human disease. It caused by a microorganism called virus. How it spread? It spread through air. Okay. From these three diseases, there is only a common preventive measure. What is the common preventive measure? Keep the patient in complete isolation. You should keep the patient in complete isolation. Isolation means what? Full rest. Okay. We should not disturb the patient. Next, keep the personal belongings of the patient away from those of others. Keep the personal belongings. The person's belongings means what? We can say some personal things of the patient we should separate away from others. Okay, you understand? From tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox, these are three diseases that preventive measures is what? Common. Preventive measures is common for all those three diseases. Do you understand, students? Next, hepatitis. Human disease called hepatitis B. How it caused? It caused by a microorganism called virus. How it spread? Mode of transmission is water. Okay. The preventive measures of hepatitis B disease is drink boiled water. We should drink boiled water. Do you understand, students? These are all the some common human disease caused by organism or microorganism. Next, we are going to see disease causing microorganism in animals. Disease causing microorganism in animals. Okay. Several microorganisms not only cause diseases in human and plants. Okay. Microorganisms not only cause disease in human and plants but also in animals. Okay. But also in animals. For example, anthrax. Anthrax. Spell the word anthrax. A-N-T-H-R-A-X. Anthrax. Anthrax is a dangerous human and cattle disease. Anthrax is a very dangerous human and cattle disease. What is the meaning of cattle? A group of buffaloes or a group of animal. We call it as a cattle. How it caused? It caused by a microorganism called bacterium. It caused by a microorganism called bacterium. You understand? Next, foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease of cattle is caused by virus. Foot and mouth disease of cattle is caused by which organism? Virus microorganism. Do you understand, students? Okay. Next, disease causing microorganism in plants. Disease causing microorganism in plants. Several microorganisms cause disease in plants like wheat. Repeat after me. Wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple and others. Okay. The disease will reduce the yield of crops. Okay. For example, I am going to say an example. In a whole agricultural land, we are cultivating wheat. We are cultivating wheat on larger scale. In one part of the wheat is affected by fungi. Okay, what happens in a whole large agricultural land? Only one part is affected by fungi. There will be some reducing yield of crops. Do you understand, students? This is disease causing microorganism in plants. Next, we are going to see about common plant disease caused by microorganism. Common plant disease caused by microorganism. Plant disease. The name of the plant disease is citrus canker. Citrus canker. Repeat after me. Citrus canker is caused by the microorganism called bacteria. Caused by the microorganism called bacteria. How it spread? It spread through air. You understand? Next, the second plant disease is rust of wheat. Rust of wheat. The microorganism is fungi. How it spread? It spread through air and seeds. This is some common plant disease caused by microorganisms. Do you understand, students? Okay. See, to protect certain organisms, we should use certain chemicals. To protect certain organisms like bacteria, fungi, we can use certain chemicals. In previous lesson, we are also discussed about to protect certain organisms, we can use some pesticides, weedicides or bio-weedicides to protect certain organisms. Do you understand, students? Next, we are going to see what is food poisoning. Okay. A boy went to party and eat many foodstuffs. A boy went to party and eat many foodstuffs. Okay. On reached home, the boy vomiting continuously. Okay. Suddenly, his parents took him to the hospital. The doctor says this is due to food poisoning. The doctor says what? This is due to food poisoning. What is food poisoning? If we eat some spoiled food, it will cause food poisoning. Okay, students? See here, food poisoning means food poisoning could be due to consumption of food spoiled food by some microorganism. The microorganisms that grow on our food sometimes produce toxic substances. Sometimes produce what? Toxic substances. Toxic means what? It is a meaning is poison. Okay. So we should not eat the spoiled food. If we eat the spoiled food, we cause some food poisoning. Do you understand? See here, food poison causes serious illness or even death. Okay, serious illness or even death. So we should not eat the spoiled food. Only we should eat the healthy food or unspoiled food. Do you understand, students? What is food poisoning? Okay. Next, we are going to see about what is food preservation. What is food preservation? Raju bought some mangoes. Raju bought some mangoes, but he could not eat for them for few days. Okay. But the Raju did not eat the mangoes for few days. Next, later he found that they were spoiled. The mangoes were spoiled. Why? Because the Raju did not eat the mangoes for few days. Later the mangoes are get spoiled. This is one case. Okay. See here. But he knows that the mango pickle her grandmother makes. The mango pickle that prepared by her grandmother does not spoil for long time. Why the raw mangoes are getting spoiled? That the grandmother prepared a pickle that not spoiled for a long time. Why? So the Raju is so confused. Why? You say, students, you know why the raw mangoes are getting spoiled and the mango pickle are not getting spoiled? Because in mango pickle they are using some preservative. Okay, do you understand? They are using some what? Some preservation. Okay, so only the mango pickle does not spoil. Do you understand, students? Next, we are going to see about what is chemical method. Under this chemical method, we are going to see about what are preservatives. What are preservatives? Salt and edible oils are the common chemicals used to check the growth of microorganisms. Therefore, they are called as preservatives. Okay. If we use salt and edible oils in our food products, the food will not be wasted at all. Here, salt and edible oils are considered as preservatives. Here, salt and edible oil are considered as what? Preservatives. Do you understand, students? Okay. Next, we are going to see about some common preservatives. There are two common preservatives. First is sodium metabisulfite. Repeat after me. Sodium metabisulfite and sodium benzoate. These are all the two common preservatives. Do you understand, students? Okay. Next, we are going to see about preservation by common salt. What we are going to see? Preservation by common salt. Common salt has been used to preserve meat and fish. Common salt has been used to preserve what? Meat and fish. And salting or common salt is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes and tamarind, etc. By using the common salt, we can preserve meat, fish, amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. Do you understand, students? Next we are going to see about preservation by sugar. Jams, jellies and squashes are preserved by sugar. Do you all eat the jams and jellies? Okay. The jams and jellies will not be spoiled for long time. Why? Because they are using preservative as sugar. Okay. And the sugar reduces the moisture content. Sugar will reduce the moisture content which inhibits the growth of bacteria. What is the meaning of inhibits? Inhibits means stops. It will stop the growth of bacteria. Okay. So do you understand, students? Preservation by sugar, preservation by common salt. Do you understand what is preservatives and all? Okay, students. Next we are going to see about preservation by oil and vinegar. How we can use oil and vinegar as a preservatives. Okay. Use of oil and vinegar prevents spoilage of pickles. If we use oil and vinegar in pickles, the pickles will not spoil at all. Okay. Why? Because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. In such environment, the bacteria cannot live. You understand, students? Okay. Vegetables, fruits, meat are often preserved by this method. By using oil and vinegar, the fruits, vegetables, meat are also preserved by this method. Do you understand, students? Prevention by oil and vinegar? Okay. See, next we are going to see about heat and cold treatments. What we are going to see about? Heat and cold treatments. You must have observed your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. Do you observe, students? Your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. Before the milk is stored or used, your mother will be what your mother will do? Your mother will boil the milk. Why? Why they are boiling the milk? Because boiling kills many microorganisms. For that purpose, your mother is boiling the milk. Do you understand? Similarly, we keep our food in the refrigerator. If we keep the food in the fridge or refrigerator, the food will not be spoiled at all. Do you understand? Why? Because low temperature inhibits the growth of microbes. Low temperature inhibits. What is the meaning of inhibits? It will stop the growth of microbes. Do you understand, students? Okay. See here. Next is storage and packing. These days, dry fruits and vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets. Why? The vegetables and fruits are sold in sealed airtight packets. Why? Because to prevent from microbes or microorganisms, the dry vegetables and fruits are sealed in airtight packets. Do you understand, students? Next we are going to discuss about what is pasteurization. Pastured milk can be consumed without boiling. Without boiling, we can consume the raw milk. Okay? Why? We can consume the raw milk because it is free from harmful microbes. It is free from harmful microbes. The milk is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 minutes. The milk should be boiled about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds. And then suddenly chilled and stored. And then suddenly chilled and stored. By doing so, this process is called as a pasteurization. By doing so, it is it prevents the growth of microbes. It prevents the growth of microbes. If we heat the milk for 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds, we can easily prevent the growth of microbes. This process is called as a pasteurization. This pasteurization process was discovered by Pasteur. Okay, who discovered the pasteurization process? Pasteur. Do you understand? Okay. See, next we are going to see about what is nitrogen fixation. In the soil, you have roots of plants. Within a roots, you have a root nodules. See here, within a roots you have this is root nodules. You understand, students? And this root nodules has a bacteria. This root nodules has a bacteria. That bacteria name called rhizobium. The bacteria name called rhizobium. Spell the word rhizobium. R-H-I-Z-O-B-I-U-M. Rhizobium. Okay. See. Next, what is nitrogen fixation means? In atmosphere, 78% of nitrogen are present. This nitrogen should convert it into nitrite and to nitrate, and then it is used by plants. Okay. This process is called as a nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen should convert into nitrite and to nitrate, and then it is used by plants. This process we call it as a nitrogen fixation. Do you understand, students? Next we are going to see about what is nitrogen cycle. Okay, our atmosphere has 78% of nitrogen gas. In our atmosphere, 78% of nitrogen gas are present. Nitrogen is one of the essential constituent of living organism. Nitrogen is very essential constituent of all living organisms as a part of proteins, chlorophyll, nucleic acid and vitamins. Do you understand? In our atmosphere, 78% of nitrogen gas are present. Okay, this nitrogen is very useful for all living organisms. Do you understand, students? Now we are going to see about the diagram of nitrogen cycle. See, the atmospheric nitrogen does not directly taken by plants or animals. So, this atmospheric nitrogen will convert into nitrogen fixing bacteria and blue-green algae fix atmospheric nitrogen. And then it will goes to bacteria in turn fix nitrogen into nitrogenous compound. It will fix nitrogen into what? Nitrogenous compound. And see, similarly components of nitrogen in the soil. Again, this components of nitrogen in the soil will goes to bacteria turn components of nitrogen into gaseous nitrogen. Nitrogen into nitrogenous gas or gaseous nitrogen. Again it goes to atmospheric nitrogen. See here, this components of nitrogen in the soil will take up by the plants, and animal eat plants. Animal eat plants and the nitrogenous waste from excretion and death. Again it goes to components of nitrogen in the soil. It is a cyclic process. So this process is a cyclic process. We call it as a nitrogen cycle. You understand? So this is very important question. Okay. You understand what is nitrogen cycle? Okay. Next I am going to give the instruction regarding classwork writing. Write the short answer in your classwork. Refer the PDF which is attached with this video. Thank you, students.